Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, where I am starting off with an assault. What does that say? 28? 20? I can't quite tell if that's an 8 or a 0. Because of the fact that I saved and reloaded, it's going to keep giving me tips over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, I'm pretty confident about my north defensive line, if I'm being honest. I don't really have any worries there. Any of the rest of them going anywhere else? Last time we visited the Dark Fog, and I'm kind of wondering if that has anything to do with what is happening here. But we're gonna watch and see just how well our defensive lines do here. I think the answer is gonna be just fine. Looks like we need a Bab up here. This guy doesn't quite hit the mark. It should. He's not quite getting out there far enough, though. It was 28, because now it just says 20. Now it says 16. Hey! Just in time! Kinetic weapon damage. Although that's not a kinetic weapon. Those are. They're doing pretty well for themselves. Any of the rest? 10. Looks like they're all doing pretty slow. Although that sounded like one of these guys just fired. Who knows, maybe they did. But I am a little bit impatient in terms of my silica. So we are currently in the process of hooking up another silica line. And then we're going to be talking about what we are doing next. That's kind of the next order of business here, is what the heck we're doing next on the list of stuff that I want to do. You'll also see that I have fidget spinners, which means that I went through the trouble of setting up the logistics network so that I have a proper supply of belts and whatnot at all times. Because I was really starting to get annoyed at the whole, like, oh, every time I come back to the base, I forget to grab belts, and then I forget to grab things, and then I don't have things, and I want things. Well, like I'm gonna need one over here, and one over here. What got destroyed? Aww.
You've built your first power transmission facility, a Tesla tower. It can help you transmit power wirelessly over a short range and extend the power grid coverage.
We don't need these anymore.
Click on it to view more details.
Yeah, those were nice while we had them, but we do not need them. Come back inside, please. Why these guys didn't get sent out there. Everything else is getting sent out, which means that it's gotta be wrecked. Energy weapon damage, that's nice. Here, we'll put another Bab down right there. Supply it with units. That'll be perfect. Now it'll just automatically do all of the things that we just did. They are mighty helpful for constructing things, because I did not build the majority of this belt. We want output priority going toward our main factories, and then output secondary going toward the processing of silica. And then down here, we can actually go on ahead and upgrade this entire belt to be a Mark II belt, so that we have a little bit more silica. And then we'll upgrade this to a Mark II belt as well. And we will upgrade all of these to Mark II sorters, because Mark II sorters are technically what is required for these. Because it needs 10 stone for each one, and we need quite a bit, so that'll work. And then that'll give us a little bit more throughput on the silica ore, and the silica ore will of course give us more microprocessors, and the processors will give us more fidget spinners, and our fidget spinners are our best friends which we currently do not have a lot of, unfortunately enough. I'm rather sad about the fact that we don't have a ton of those. But that's okay overall. We are fine with that. So in terms of things to do next, I've queued all of our current available upgrades for research in terms of, upgrades. Everything else is locked behind yellow science, which we currently do not have. So I think kind of the next thing that is going to be on the docket for us, I would really enjoy having the planetary logistics systems, but the planetary logistics systems require the purple tubes as well as titanium smelting, and of course we also need the super magnetic oscillator things, the blue motors. So we're definitely going to want to have that on the line, and then we can just chauffeur titanium back and forth from a planetary expansion. And what we're going to want out of a planetary expansion is more than likely going to be a couple of battlefield analysis bases to provide watchful eyes over top of everything, and then just a shit ton of Gauss turrets, because Gauss turrets, because the Gauss turrets are supplied by copper rather than explosives, and we don't have a whole ton of other things available to us. Now, the other thing that I'm a little bit curious of is the signal tower. A tactical defensive facility periodically sends out signals at a specific frequency to induce dark fog, change the direction of an attack, and increase the unit assembling speed. Signal towers can form a data chain with missile turrets for information sharing, expanding the attack range of missile turrets. That's kind of nice. Change the direction of an attack and increase the unit assembling speed. The dark fog unit assembling speed? I don't know if we want that. The implosion cannon would also be nice, especially given that the ammunition is really only fuel and copper, which is not terrible. And then precision drones, I think, would also be nice because they're not super complicated overall. Just green motors, photon conversion cube stuff, not much else. And then titanium ammunition, of course, is just better copper ammunition for everything else. And super alloy ammunition box is, of course, just even better than that. So that's kind of nice altogether overall. So I think really our next kind of idea here is to rush planetary logistics so that we can start making fully official bases and fully official everything else. And that is going to require a planetary expansion, which we can start getting ready for today. So titanium smelting, crystal smelting. Not going to need that. Proliferator Mark II, not going to need that. Polymer chemical engineering, not going to need that. We will need thrusters. We will not need those. We will need the particle trap, the particle containers, the purple things. We will need the super magnetic field generator, the blue motors. And then I think we will go for the precision drones next. So I'm going to take a box, this box. I'm going to put the box over here. And we are going to stock this box with all of the things that we need for a planetary expansion. All of the things that I could possibly think that we're going to need for a planetary expansion. And first and foremost is going to be conveyor belts. We're going to want not 1, not 2, but 4 stacks of conveyor belts. We're going to want 2 stacks of inserters. We're going to want not 1, but 2 stacks of the next tier of our belts. Of course, we're going to want probably 2 stacks of ammunition to start with. We're going to want a stack of Gauss turrets, a couple of battlefield analysis bases. We'll actually go on ahead and up that to 4 stacks of ammunition overall. Tier 2 inserters, we are also going to want 2 of. That is probably going to be really nice. We're going to want 4 things of arc smelters. A stack of those. a stack of those. You know, I'm being very descriptive with my those. Is a stack of splitters and a stack of depots for storage of supplies. We don't need anything oil related on these planets. I'm going to take 2 stacks of our power transmission poles overall. I'm going to take 4 stacks of wind turbines for everything. We won't need matrix labs. I will take a stack of mining machines and a stack of assembling machines. I'm actually going to take 2 stacks of assembling machines. And that will probably fulfill us here. That's that, that's that. Alright, so let me go on ahead and stock all of this up, shove it in my inventory, shove all of this in another box or in other places around, and then we'll grab some prototypes as well, because prototypes are going to be very important for our battlefield analysis bases. Ooh, our power satisfaction is also going down. Means it is time to expand our power grid, which we can do quite nicely just via getting rid of that, putting it here, taking this, rotating it, okay, or not, that's fine, we'll just do it like this. It's colliding with the turret, seriously? That's stupid. Alright, and then we will just do that. We need to expand again, I'll figure out another way to expand, and that'll just be that. So let me go on ahead and grab all the rest of the crap for our expansion, and then we will be on our merry way and settling on a new planet with the Dark Fog presence. And again, we are going to be going for this secondary planet because of the resources and because of the low threat presence of the Dark Fog itself. And with combat drone durability, I will see you guys in a moment. Alright, so the bin is basically full at this point, so I'm just kinda... No, my logistics! No, they ruined it. Assholes. Now I have to go back around and go grab all the things that they just stole from me. What did they steal from me? They stole all of the different inserters and belts and stuff. That's okay, that'll probably be pretty easy to just go back through and find. Also, I want 6 things of ammunition, please and thanks. I never did quite have enough of those, unfortunately, so that's just kind of how that's gonna end up being. It doesn't look like they took any belt Mark IIs, it looks like they only took inserter Mark IIs. So I'll go on ahead and grab the inserter Mark IIs, and then I will go over here. I'll grab the last of the wind turbines. We will charge ourselves completely. We will plot a course, and then we will go for it. Oh, I should save. Save. Just in case for some odd reason we get, like, absolutely dunked on in transit. And then, yeah, 600 meters per second will be fine. That's the guidebook. That is not what I want. What I wanted was the mecha. Apparently is C. I don't know why I thought it was not C. So yeah, we've got everything that we need. We've got some fighters. We've got power generation. The wind is phenomenal on board this planet. So I am quite happy about that overall. We are not going to cross paths due to the high polar orbit of the Hive. We are not going to cross paths with the Hive. Man, they have some crazy defense on the Hive. I cannot wait to take the battle to them. And then, again, this planet is very hostile. It is a lava planet, so I suppose that makes sense. The only thing that's really worth it here is the high volumes of titanium, iron, and copper, which will be very helpful later on in the game. But for right now, it is not necessarily something that we really care about all that much. And yeah, there's the Hive, high polar orbit. So let's go on ahead. Let's take a landing on the far side of this planet, Algarab 2. And let's take a look at what exactly we are working with in terms of dark fog presence and in terms of vein location. So, taking a look here, actually quite a small base. Level 0, 7 out of 200. Yeah, very, very, very small base. In terms of our resource densities, there is our singular coal vein. Rather close, unfortunately. Not super happy with that, to be completely honest with you. Where am I? I don't know. I am. But it looks like we've got some silica and some copper here, titanium and some copper here, on the far sides of the planet, and some titanium and some copper there. So the main thing that I'm going to want from this planet is some silica smelting and storage of silica with automated defenses, and then titanium smelting and storage and automated defenses as well. So I think probably our best bet here is going to be this silica vein. There's actually quite a bit there, so we can probably get a decent amount set up there. With the copper as well. Titanium is not as important, so we'll probably set this up, and then while that's processing, we'll set this up. And then over here, we will use this titanium vein and those copper veins. So it looks like we are heading in this direction to get started. Silica. Yeah, because there's the other silica vein. Dark fog on the far side of the planet. Very perfect. Very perfect. So let's go on ahead. Let's get the grid a little bit illuminated here using some of our wind turbines.
A wind turbine?
Gosh. I'm literally on another planet. How could I have gotten to another planet without placing a wind turbine? Did you ever think of that? You ever think of that, Bozo? Honestly? No? No, you never thought of that? I'm getting so tired of his constant commenting. Not gonna lie. Okay. Looks like there is, unfortunately, some copper in the way, which will limit how far we can place these. There we go. That'll give us a pretty decent power margin overall to start on some things while we are here. And our home base will, of course, also be pretty happy. Also, you can see, due to our power generation going up, the planetary threat is also going up. So you've seen a lot of this before. I'm going to go on ahead and skip it, and if anything interesting happens, of course, I will bring you back in for that. See you shortly. And with all of that, we have our first planetary expansion set up. It's a humble little thing. I really like the grid of wind turbines, if I'm being honest. I think that looks quite nice. We have ammunition being made here, and we have a buffer, which I will set a limit on. And then this ammunition belt wraps the entirety of the way around, where the entire base is surrounded by Gauss turrets that are covering one another, as well as 3 battlefield analysis bases, which are able to deploy some fighters. I have ground fighters equipped in all 3 of them, as well as them being able to provide the proper coverage for repairs and for gathering of materials. And then, of course, last but not least, we have our silica being smelted, being put onto a centralized belt, and then all of the plates for which go into storage right there. It is absolutely phenomenal. I am quite a large fan of this overall. I'm really happy with the Gauss turret setup, and the wind turbines do provide more than enough power. I don't know what my max demand is, because not all of it is running at once, I don't think, at the moment, but I have plenty being, monitored and watched here. And then our secondary expansion was going to be down here, I believe, pretty decently far away. So we can go down. I'm not going to link the 2 power grids together, but we're pretty much going to have the exact same thing going on down here that we have going on up here, except with titanium instead of with everything else. So I think I'm going to go on ahead and set up the grid. Let's cover fault lines. Oh, man, I hate it when they cover fault lines. Can I find a more medium latitude at which I can do this? Or are all of the titanium veins at extremely high latitudes? With the exception of the ones that are literally right next to the dark fog base. I swear. Okay, fine. I guess we're just stuck at the high latitude here, and we're gonna have to deal with the date lines. Which isn't the worst thing in the world. I'll probably just expand farther this direction and just leave this as, leave this marking here as the northmost portion of the base, or of this expansion. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'll bring you guys back in, and we're about to have ourselves a wonderful little attack on number 4. So I kind of want to see how that goes. Yeah, they're launching an assault, but I'm not there at the moment to help with all of that, so yeah, that base is kind of on its own, unfortunately, but I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be just fine. Probably. I don't know. We'll see, because I literally can't see what is happening on it. Like, if I go over to here, I see nothing. It says 36 units incoming. That's a lot of units. I want to see if that number maybe goes down a little bit. Looks like that number's going down just fine. I think it's fine. Something needs repaired. It's probably gonna end up destroyed. Oh well. That's okay. We'll fix it when we get back later. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this up. These episodes are getting longer and longer, so I will see you guys momentarily. So, there is a enemy on the home planet who is currently just out of range of the turrets, I'm assuming, and is damaging our things over and over and over and over and over again. And there is shit all I can do about it. I can't do anything about it because I'm on this planet, not the other planet, and I cannot interact with the other planet such that I would be able to actually do it and fix it. So yeah, no, that's a fun thing that's happening. This planet is about to experience its first attack, which is quite nice. I'm probably gonna leave that as the end of the video, because I would very much enjoy seeing what exactly these guys have to offer in terms of an attack on our pretty heavily fortified little miniature bases here. They're just outposts, but that's what they're supposed to be. They're just supposed to be outposts. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait around until there is enough silica to load up into my inventory and then take away with me. And once there is enough silica ready for me to take away and take back home so that we can have some better, inventory and better supply at the home base, I will be heading back home. And I'm going to be leaving all of the materials that I brought here to stay here. So like all of this, probably not all of that, probably not all of that, but like the foundation, some of the fuel, the inserters, a little bit of those. And yeah, that'll be all that I leave here. I'll leave 2 stacks of ammunition as well. I'll leave all of that here. I'm gonna grab, an entire inventory full of this, and then as much inventory of the other stuff, the titanium, as I can, and we will have the ability to go home with a whole ton of resources and be very, very fruitful in our coming endeavors. We have, looks like 8 units incoming on the current planet. So we're gonna take a look at all of that, and it looks like our orbits have come closer to one another, so we can actually get home pretty quickly, which is nice for me. Doesn't matter to you guys, because you won't have to deal with that at all. Looks like they are going for our titanium base, which is where I am at. So I'm actually gonna move out of the way here. That way I don't influence it at all. I really want to see what it does. Cool, those are all doing great. They all did perfect. Very nicely done. And we are still at 0% threat on the hive, which is amazing. And I'm gonna go home and finally deal with the annoyance that is happening. So that is gonna be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir. Oh, that is beautiful. Hasta la vista, das vidania, evidizien, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.